Welcome to AP Computer Science. We're looking at assignment 10.00. Okay, these are the exercises in assignment 10.00. Okay, here we are. We're in exercise 4.5. What we're going to do is we're going to revise the basic game logic so that the user who takes more than 3 guesses to get it right will never succeed in guessing the right answer. So we're going to look at the basic game logic. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this public void play one game and we're going to change this. We're going to use exactly this, but we're going to add the choice of 3 guesses. Okay. So how do we do this? So what we're going to do is we're going to write exactly the same thing. Only thing is we're going to add to this. Is I'm going to set up a number of choices to initiate it at 0. So we're going to have, well, it's either should continue or greater than 3, because x greater than 3. Should continue or x greater than the 3. So this is all we've done is we've just added x is equal to 0, initiated x is 0 to 0, and then we incremented it. Okay. So what we do is to declare integer x equals 0, and then once this is done, we increment x. So now I'm going to add this to the guess number, or rather the basic game, and I'm going to open the editor. Just add it to this, okay? Now what I would do is I would just change this and come down, okay, and go int x equals 0. I'm going to come over here while should continue. So just type in here int equals 0, while should continue, and you're going to add in here or, put in your couple pipes. You're going to say x greater than or equal to 3. It's going to run through this loop. Then, of course, you want to, when you're finished with this loop, you want to increment x. So you go x plus plus. Now, what I would do is I would copy all this. Right-click copy. And I would bring up Notepad, and I just put it in here. And go File, Save As, Exercise 4.5. Just so that, because I know you're not going to want to keep it like this, just save it like that and put it into your folder. I'm going to put it right in there. Just so that I'm going to go back and take it out now because I don't want to mess up my play one game thing here. All right, so exercise 4.6 says explain the difference between an instance variable and a local variable. So what's the difference? An instance variable is a variable that belongs to a class, and it can be called on all the methods of that class, right? However, local variables are what? They're variables that belong to a specific method and can be only called on by that method unless you modify it. So I would put it like this. Instance variable is a variable that belongs to a class and can be called on by all methods in said class. But local variables are variables that belong to a specific method and can only be called upon by that method unless otherwise modified. Okay? So once again, you write it out, right? And then you go save as, then just go exercise 4.6. Rather, I do 4 underline 6, so I'm not going to be crazy. Or -6. There we go. Okay, exercise 416. What does this say? Write a time method, public int time in minutes. The executor tells the total number of minutes that have passed since midnight. Okay, so what does this entail? What you're going to do is you're going to take the hour and multiply it by 60, and then add the minutes to it. That's all you're doing, right? So you're going to take your variable. In this case, we called it time in minutes. And we just made this variable equal its time hour plus its time minute. And then we just made, that's all we need to do. So we just declare it, and then we return it. And we add this to the time method. Then it's going to add this to the time. So I right click my time and I go open the editor. I just come on down. I'm going to add it right here. Call it exercise 416. And I'm going to write, I'm going to declare it public and integer, and I'm going to call it time in minutes like they said. Opening curly brace. Closing curly brace. And we're going to put in here time hour times 60 plus its time in minutes. Minutes in an hour, right? That's all we do. We multiply its hour times 60 and add its minutes to it. So then we're going to return time in minutes. And that's all there is to that one, right? We'll compile it. Okay, I guess that's wrong. See, up here it's hour, so I'm going to take out the word time in here. Let's see if it compiles now. Yeah, we don't need an S on the end. Yeah, you got to check it with whatever you have up here to make sure it works, okay? That's what you have. Yeah, you got to make sure it matches. It's hour, its min has to be the same, okay? So that's what we do. We compile it and it works. And that's your answer. Okay, the next thing we're going to have to do is going to write the time method, public time, subtract time that. Okay, the executor returns a new time object that is itself minus the parameter. In other words, 720 subtract 430 is 1650. The difference is negative. Add an extra 24 hours. So what are we looking at? Okay, so we're going to take the public time with the parameter time that. Okay, this is exactly this. So we're going to have the method in here in green, and we have the parameter in blue. That should help you keep it straight. So what are we doing? We're going to establish hour and minute. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in the hour, whatever this method time is, subtract out the parameter hour. The hour from the method, subtracted from the hour of the time. And what we're going to do is the minute is going to be the minutes from the time, subtract the minute from the parameter. Okay, got that? So in the instance where a minute is less than 0, what are you going to do? You're going to add 60 to the minutes and subtract 1 from the hour. Okay? You keep doing that until the minutes is greater than 0, equal to or greater than 0. Okay, so as long as this is true, you keep subtracting from the hour and adding 60 to the minutes. Okay? The other circumstance is what about the hour? If the hour is less than 0, what do you do? Keep on adding 24 to the hour. Okay, in this particular case, time difference is equal to the new hour, comma, minute. Okay, and then you return that answer. That's what it's going to look like, basically. So let's flesh this out. What's this going to look like? We're going to refer to, instead of saying time, we're going to say this. Okay. So once again, we're going to not have this in there, right? We're not going to say it's time hour, it's hour, okay? And it's minute, right? So remember, this one's referring to this, and that's referring to that, okay? So that's what's going on, all right? So it should be a little easier to figure out, all right? Okay, we're back in time. We're going to make a new time method. So I'm going to open my editor here. Come on down. I'm going to add a couple spaces here, and I'm going to do exercise 417. I'm going to call this public time subtract. And we're going to put in our 2 curly braces. So we're going to declare an int called HR for hour. We're going to declare an int called minute. Okay, we're going to tell you what goes in there. Okay, now we add condition if the minute is less than 0. So you add 60 to it, subtract 1 from the hour. Now we add the situation with if hours are less than 0. So now our time difference is going to be equal to new time, right? And then we're going to return the difference. Once again, I got to take away that the s at the end of min, okay, for it to work. So I'm going to click compile, and there you go. So remember, this is how it looks. Okay. Okay, exercise 418 says if you wanted time objects to have a third attribute, the name of the day of the week, then what instance variable declaration would you add? I said I added the instance variable private int its day and made it so that the constructor, the day, was the first int entry and that its day got its value from the int day in time, int day, int hour, int min. Okay. Also added the instance method dayString to the class time. I designed it so that whichever integer, Hadley's got to learn to spell integer as no R in it. Whatever integer you enter into the day parameter of the new time object would be assigned a day name. The system goes 1 equals Sunday and up to 7 equals Saturday. So up to 7 equals Saturday. If the number entered into the day parameter is larger than 7, larger Hadley, than 7, or lower than 1, it lowers or raises by increments of 7 until it fits into one of the day numbers 1 through 7. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all this, and I'm going to write and compile the result of the class. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to make a new notepad, put it in here, go File, Save As, and I'm going to put it Exercise 418. There you go. Let's explain what I did. And you'll probably have a different explanation depending on what you call your variable, okay? So this is the answer I came up with. I just put, while its day is less than or equal to 0, this day is equal to its day plus 7. And while its day is greater than 7, its day is, take its day minus 7, okay? So, and when you come up with, so if its day is going to equal to 1, then you're going to return Sunday, 2, Monday, 3, Tuesday, 4, Wednesday, 5, Thursday, 6, Friday, and 7, Saturday. And you're good, else, there's no else statement here, but your last statement here is no such date, and then you would have a ending curly brace. Let me put in the ending curly brace here. Here it is. So if it doesn't fit into any of the above, like we would have no such date. But this should weed out, any of the other answers. Okay, it's either going to be less than, if it's less than 0 or greater than 7. So you're going to have these loops, and then you're going to have these if statements. Okay, let's go to it. So I'm still in time here. Give me some enters here. I call this exercise 418 while we're in here. Okay. If day is less than 0. And keep adding 7 to it until it's above 0. Or this other case. What if day is greater than 7? You're going to subtract 7 from it until it is greater than or equal to 7, from 0 to 7. So after your while loops are done, we're going to do our if statements here. We'll just go all the way to 7. Here's Monday and Tuesday. Okay, we'll add Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 is Wednesday, 5 is Thursday, 6 is Friday, 7 is Saturday. What if it's none of the above? You return no such date. So it should work in one of these. So that would handle if somebody put in, say, something that wasn't a number, right? I suppose. So, okay, let's compile it. Okay, we don't have anything here that's declared its day, so we're going to add it up here at the top to our parameters for the public time here. So I'm going to put up here private int its day. Okay, so I click compile again. And this time everything works. So we had to add its day to the variables for the class because it wasn't in there. Okay, that's what we had to do. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to revise the time constructor to properly adjust for minutes larger than 59 and adding to the hour as needed. Then repeatedly adding or subtracting 24 from its hour until the value is in the range of 0 to 23. And disregard the excess, we don't care what day it is. So first instance here, minutes less than 0. So we have constructor here. And subtract 1 from the hour and add 60 to the minutes until minutes are equal to or greater than 0. So this is what we did. Okay, for its time, well, we don't have this time in here for minutes. It's time, minutes is less than 0. It's time, minutes greater than 0. Okay. Then subtract time from everything. And second, for its minutes greater than 0, add 1 to the hour until the minutes are less than 60. So we put for time minutes equals minutes, it's time minutes greater than or equal to 60. Is time minutes is equal to is time minutes minus 60. Then you go through this loop and you keep adding hours. Okay, that's how you do that one. Okay, the third situation is hours less than 0. Okay, for it's hours less than 0, its time is equal to its hour plus 24. Okay, so that's all you're doing here. Okay, so we have our 4 situations here, and let's look how that will work. So we're going to have to, for time here, we're going to have to add our integer for day. Okay, so this is our constructor. So, okay, so here we have super, and we're going to add its day is equal to day. Okay, its hour is equal to hour. Let's say here, for its time, minute, Its time is less than 0. Its minute is equal to its minute plus 60, the same as you would have. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to add the situation for minutes being greater than 60. So I'm going to come down. Okay, for if you have a situation where there's more than 60 minutes, you subtract 60 minutes and then you just increase the hour. That's what we're doing here. That's the first situation we addressed. Okay, now we added the hour. So if the hour is greater than equal to 24, you subtract 24 from it until it comes within range. But you don't do anything to increase the days here because we don't care. Now we've handled the situation for its hour being less than 0. So we just add 0 to its hour until it becomes a positive number or greater than 0, okay? So that's how we've changed this. So I'm going to compile this. Okay, it doesn't compile here. And what I did was I added my semicolons here. I had them here, but I forgot to add them at the end. So that didn't work. But one thing that didn't work in here is because I have int day, but I don't use day. And what it's doing is it's throwing, since it's a constructor, it's throwing one of my other methods off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, since I don't use its day in here, I'm going to take it out. Take it out of the constructor. Let's see if this fixes it. Still doesn't like it. Let me take out day here. Yep, there you go. So it's okay to have day here because I've declared day up here, but I can't change the constructor. I can't add the It can't add day to the constructor without throwing out other methods that I have. So I changed it back, especially since I didn't mention day here. Okay, I didn't mention day in the constructor, so that's the correct one. Okay. So exercise 420 is to revise the time constructor as stated in the preceding exercise, but don't have any looping statements in the constructor. So they want you to use the modulo operator. So how am I going to do this? So I'm going to change this. Okay. So we're gonna use modulos now. So I'm going to call this its time hour, or its hour. It's equal to hour. Always equal to its hour. Plus its time minutes divided by 60. I'm going to redo this one. but its time, its minutes is equal to its minutes modulo 60. But I still need to do an if statement here. If its min is less than 0, okay, then I'm going to put its hour is equal to its hour minus 1. Its min is equal to its min plus 60. So then we're going to handle its hour. Its hour then is equal to its hour modulo 24. 24 hours, right? So whatever the remainder is, that's going to be its hour. That's how you do it. We talked about the modulo before. That's it's division, and whatever the remainder is, the modulo. That's how you can do it. It's pretty common to use that. Okay, so let's see if this compiles. It's min instead of it min. Can't seem to do this without making a mistake, can I? But it compiled. Yay! Actually, what I do is make sure you make a copy of what you did for exercise 19 before you go and do all this deletion. I'll go save as. We'll call this 420. Exercise 420. Okay.